So this Wednesday we got a pretty big beta build with a few hunter changes in it. I think pretty much everybody expected the Serpent Stalker's legendary nerf for a really long time, and we finally got on this build. So all the other classes that get unhappy when hunters delete a pack in M+ can be really happy now. Just to note, in the background, the gameplay is just like some pulls from some random recent Mythic Raid testing. It's just a pug group, so the pulls aren't very good. It's on Sun King's Salvation, which is basically Kel'Thas, and then Council of Blood, which is the dance fight. But yeah, the pulls are pretty bad. You'll see from the start how ridiculous Serpent Stalkers and Chimaera Shot combo is, and the footage is pre-nerf, so all these nerfs happen after the what you're seeing on screen. So the actual nerfs themselves, the damage on Chimaera Shot has been nerfed slightly. It's not too bad, which completely expected. But the problem is the damage on the second target has been halved. So like a combination of both of these nerfs, the damage on the second target is now about 40% of what it was before. So this seems like a huge nerf, and obviously it is, but surprisingly enough, Serpent Stalkers is just so strong mechanically that it's probably a little bit still too strong, and I really wouldn't be shocked to see if it nerfed further in future builds. I think my problem with these nerfs is not that it actually happened, we all know it was going to happen, but they chose to nerf the talent Chimaera Shot. We knew it should get nerfed slightly, but maybe not to this extent on the second target, but I would have far rather they just completely destroyed the legendary, honestly. It's unfortunate because it's our only legendary really that makes any sort of sense. It's the only interesting legendary, but the mechanic of firing off sort of 12 Chimaera Shots with double tap and the cleaves is just ridiculous. So I do think it's really unfortunate that they decided to just destroy the talent. It will probably still be decent depending on tuning for 2 target fights, but I wish they would have just nerfed the legendary rather than the actual sort of base spec itself. Now the combo of double tap and Serpent Stalkers is still a little buggy. Chimaera Shots are no longer benefiting from the Precise Shots damage buff, which is a 75% damage buff, so it is really significant. Unless Precise Shots are already up before the second aim shot. So this mostly applies in sort of the opener, is when you double tap, the first wave of Chimaera Shots from the first aim shot will not be buffed by Precise Shots, but the second one will, because obviously the first aim shot will have procced the Precise Shots for the second one. This does seem like probably an unintended interaction, and it's likely that they just won't benefit from Precise Shots at all in a future build, because Arcane Shot doesn't from this build forward. So I do think this is a significant nerf, but as I said, even with these nerfs, Hunter damage in M+ seems in a pretty good spot, considering some of the other top tier specs got reduced a little overall too, so looking at sort of sub-rogue bone spike. So that was the big one. There are a couple of other sort of nerfs too. Firstly, Wild Spirits, the Night Fae Covenant ability went from 45% to 35% AP. But let's be honest, I don't think anyone knows really, not even Blizzard, how this ability is going to be anytime soon. It pretty much yo-yos from overpowered to useless every couple of days, and it could honestly just be absolutely anywhere before live. I do hope that it becomes that sort of hybrid ability between AoE and single target. Most of our Covenant abilities seem to be either single target or AoE, so hopefully this will be like somewhere in between, and we'll give a decent option for people wanting to do M+ and Raid. Aside from that, Death Chakrams, the Necrolord ability has had its damage halved, which maybe that seems a bit harsh, but honestly it's probably still going to be a decent single target option. I think there's currently a bug with how it's implemented. Death Chakrams has 2 spell IDs and only 1 spell ID has been halved and not the other one. So I think only like the initial hit is halved at the moment, but it's clear that their intention is to halve the damage. And then finally, Soulforge Embers, the Tar Trap legendary, where you chuck a flare on the Tar Trap. That's been target capped to 5 targets. As much as that legendary looks kind of interesting when you first see it, believe me when I say that it's horrible to use. After the first few times using it, spending multiple globals on it every 25 to 30 seconds is just so frustrating. Honestly, I'm quite happy to see it nerfed. But that's it for this build. I wouldn't be shocked to see more nerfs in the future, particularly to Serpent Stalkers. I just really hope they do get around to some positive changes regarding sort of True Shot being a terrible cooldown, our single target legendary has been absolutely horrendous, and everybody's most hated spell, Hunter's Mark. But yeah, thanks for listening and enjoy the dance part of Council of Blood.